Yeah. So whenever it is final interview, be ready. For example, tomorrow is an interview, so then you must ready like that. Okay. So okay, here first I want to tell about Docker. Morning that Marvin is completed successfully. Marvin pipeline is also successful completely. Okay. So what is this Docker? Docker is a container virtualization. Docker is nothing but a container virtualization. Okay. If you go to the Docker website, it will show a ship symbol. If you go to the Docker, it will show a ship symbol. It means um, it is you can build your application inside of Docker. So inside of Docker, you can build an application. We can ship the application, and we can run the application also. Okay, the lot of benefits are there is about a Docker. So we'll see. Um, the first point of Docker is like this. This is your machine. So first, this is your machine. Okay, you have your hardware layer, and you have your operating system. The question is, for example, you have a Windows 10 operating system. Okay, you have a Windows 10 operating system. Like our laptops are like that, right? Now, I want to run an application in Linux environment. What to do, guys? I want to run an application in a Linux environment. What to do? Generally, so don't think about your Docker part. We'll see this Docker later. Generally, you have a system, you have Windows 10 operating system. Now you have to run an application in Linux environment. What to do? Noise. I didn't get point. But I part one thing like you said virtualization, right? Yeah. Very good. The solution is virtualization. I need a step-by-step solution like this. Step-by-step virtualization. Solution is a virtualization, but step-by-step. What is step-by-step? In general, what we are using, in generally, we have a VMware application. Using this application, what we are doing, we create a VM, right? We create a virtual machine. Inside a virtual machine, we install a Linux. Install a Linux operating system. Then we run our application. Very simple, right? This is generally what we are doing it. If in case if you are going with a type 1 virtualization means it's a server. Inside a server you create a virtual machine. Inside a virtual machine you install a operating system, then run a application. For example, I want to run a application again, another application maybe.
Sir, your voice is breaking.
My voice is breaking, so then I have to check the internet speed. 1 second, better to check the speed. Because, okay, okay, so 30, 40. Oh, 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 oh. So it is falling down. So like a London is falling down type. See, 6 Mbps up to Mbps. Try again. It's falling down, falling down. Now this is jumping. Uh-huh. Okay. Check it once again. The voice level. Okay. Just I will tell 1 minute again. So check it and come back. Okay. For example, you have another application. Now you want to run on a some different operating system. For example, Ubuntu. Same thing. We'll create a virtual machine. Inside a virtual machine, we install a Ubuntu operating system. Then run the application. So this is normally we are doing the solution as a virtualization. So we'll create a virtual machine, install operating system, run the application. Here I will tell one problem here. In this machine, in the physical machine, you have a hardware, okay, and you have a virtual machine. In this virtual machine, you install an operating system, right? This operating system occupies some space. For example, if you take Windows 10, 16 GB, 18 GB up to 16, 18 GB, it will take the space, right? If you take Linux, how much space it will take? 1.5 to 2 GB minimum space it will take. Total space of Linux operating system will take this much size. To run this operating system, to run this operating system, the resources like CPU, RAM will consume from your physical machine only. So it will consume CPU size. It consume your memory size also. For example, I put a 1 GB for my virtual machine. This 1 GB taken from your physical machine only. So it will occupy your resources more because you are running an operating system. What is our target? What is actual target is you want to run an application. Running of operating system is next part. Running of operating system is next one. So it is not a priority. Priority is to run an application, not an operating system. But this application runs on Linux environment only. So we are using Linux operating system. But priority is application. So whenever you're using an operating system, compulsory CPU RAM consumption is there, disk utilization is utilizing more. So how to reduce it? Okay, so that is the problem, right? Understand, guys? Understand the problem?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Always, what are the issues or a problems or a struggle, certain things always lead it to a new solutions, new things. Okay, like that. Okay, we'll see few things here. This application to run an application, what we need, that is important. To run an application, what we need, runtime environment, right? First of all, if it is a Java application, Java runtime environment, .NET application, runtime environment, Windows applications, Win32 environment, or a .NET environment. So Linux based application, so Linux kernel related environment is required, right? So first of all, application, runtime environment, DLL files, SH files. For Linux, Windows, I'm combining .com files. So different supporting files are required. So INF files, sys files. These are a runtime environment purpose, not for a complete OS is not required. We want to run an application, that's it. Okay, but the required supporting environment is required to run an application. So you don't require whole operating system. If you take Windows 10, it contains so many things. To run that application, you don't require all these things, right? What is required, that is required. That's it on. Next, hardware requirements. You want to run an application on hardware and how to interact with the hardware. This is a hardware. How application can interact with the hardware. What is the layer? Which one make interact with your hardware? Communicates with your hardware. Which part of operating system?
Kernel.
Kernel.
Kernel. Kernel. Very good. Good. User interacts with user.
Shell.
Shell. Very good. Okay. So we need a kernel environment and we need a hardware support. So application required runtime environment through runtime, so it can interact with your kernel to hardware. So this part is there. For this purpose, you are creating a virtual machine, install operating system, and you are running a application only. So this is this one. So the point is so again I'm type here. So hardware, it means CPU, mainly RAM, of course your hard disk, store the data, right? So main resource consumption from CPU and RAM for storage consumption. You want to run an application in a some operating system, means like a Linux based operating system, for example. Okay, so what we are doing, we create a virtual machine, install a Linux OS, and run the application. So what happening here, this Linux consumes your operating system, sorry, it consumes your resources and occupy disk space also. So this is what I told as thing. Okay, next, to run this application, to run the application, what we required, we'll see again. To run that application, we need a specific environment, means like a runtime environment we required. Kernel is required. Okay, so Linux kernel or what are the kernel is required to interact with your hardware. So you don't require whole operating system for that one. Okay, so again same thing, but little bit changes. Now we take a hardware, CPU, RAM, hard disk. You keep hard disk separate, and you have your operating system. You every normally. So I'm not going with the type 1 virtualization. Normal. I have my operating system. Operating system can be anything. Basically, Linux based. Actually, it is okay, Linux based operating system, or maybe it can be a Windows based operating system. Working is different from one place to another place, but okay, operating system. And whenever you say virtualization, means a virtualization platform is required. Any hypervisor platform is okay. Any hypervisor comes with your operating system or a separate hypervisor, anything. Okay, anything comes with operating system, means if you are using a Linux based operating system, what is a hypervisor platform in Linux?
NVM.
Yeah, KVM QEMU. So this is Linux based platform, virtualization platform for that one. Normal Windows 10.
Hyper-V.
Yes, very good. Windows 10 or a Windows current Windows versions like from Windows 8, 8.1, Windows 10, and Windows servers 12, 16, 19. So these are all having a Hyper-V. And type 2 virtualization. This is a operating system and virtualization or pure virtualization. So that is the thing. Here operating system with virtualization in a type 1 virtualization manner. Type 2 virtualization. What are the type 2 virtualization? VMware workstation. It means we are using an operating system, right? So that is VMware workstation and VirtualBox Oracle. Okay. So another one is Oracle VirtualBox. Microsoft one is also there, but now we are not using it. So this is type 2 virtualization means through application. So keep it aside. We need a hypervisor means to run in a virtually anything you want to run a virtually. It means you need a hypervisor. Okay, so different type of hypervisors are there. Any hypervisor required. So somewhere a hypervisor to run next. In the Docker, it means container virtualization. Docker means it's a nothing but a container virtualization. I will put a application here. First, I will put an application. Application this run by a Docker. Docker using Docker we create a container. In the Docker we create a container. These containers build based on a image contains something. This application image is there. Okay, application based image is there. The Docker using a Docker on this image we run a containers. For example, container number 1. So what happened here? So we slowly understand this application through this image. So this application running means um, like your machine is running. You power on the running, right? So like that application runs. That is called a container. In the container only application will run. Application data stores in image. Application original application, what are the application is stores in a image format inside a machine only. This container take this image and run the image. Take the image and run the image. Okay, and of course to run what we required, hardware is required. To run it we require a hardware. So to interact with this hardware, we need a hypervisor. To interact with this hardware, we need a hypervisor virtualization platform, right? We need a, hypervisor. Some environment is required for that one. Or huh? What happened? Or your kernel, it will utilize your hypervisor and your operating system kernel. It utilize your hypervisor, any hypervisor, Hyper-V, KVM or anything, and your operating system kernel for interact with your hardware. So it contains one binary files, application binary files. The entire environment is available here. You don't require any extra operating system for running that application. Okay, next. I don't know if you understand or not, but I'm continuing it. For example, this is a C2, another container, but same application, same image. We can run two containers. It means it's the same application, two processes are running, two separate machines are running. It's look like two separate machines are running. Understand, guys? Application is same, but I'm running two separate machines. Means what happened? Two applications are running. Means same application, two machines are giving, two machines in the two machines separately running. It is called like a container. So like this we can create multiple containers on a single image. We can create multiple containers and we can run the application. So what is this advantage of this one? First of all, if you create a virtual machine, then you have to install operating system. It consume more RAM, CPU and disk space also. And if you want to run multiple virtual machines, like if you want to run same application with a multiple virtual machine, means more RAM consumption, more CPU consumption, more disk consumption, and you have to, wow, so revise once again. Okay, so anything means overall subject only, not practicals or theory. If you have any doubt on any topic, practical theory part, also you can ask me. Just we'll have to confirm that one. Okay, okay guys, so here I am continuing. Just 1 second. So okay, so this is it. Again I am telling very simple. Docker is nothing but a container virtualization. You have your hardware layer. So if you want to run an application, so when you're running an application, it required operating system environment, and through operating system kernel, it should interact with your hardware, right? So we create a virtual machine to run different application in different environments, but it required more infrastructure. We can run an application in a containers, different application in different containers we can run, or a same application in different containers we can also run. So this container is nothing but runtime environment, and it contains an application and runtime environment. Actually this container is built based on a application image only. So the same application in the image, these are containers. Multiple containers we can run. Each container is a separate process it will run. What this container will do, the container is interact with your hardware, like a for a virtualization purpose and running purpose, like a CPU and RAM is required for running anything. So it utilize your hardware, and it utilize your kernel environment to um, run on the hardware. And it utilize your kernel, means it utilize your hypervisor. Through hypervisor it maintain the virtualization. So what is the benefit of this container virtualization is, you can save lot of resources, CPU, RAM and disk space consumption will be saved, first of all. And it is a lightweight, so it is won't consume more. You no need to create virtual machines again and again, so no need to time waste. With a simple command you can able to run a container. Simple command you can able to run a container. Very simple, we can manage this container. If you don't require, and if you no longer require this container, we can delete it also. We can create your own images, and we can transfer these images to some other places also. That's why Docker, we call this one Docker as a for a build, deployment purpose, build purpose, deployment purpose, running purpose, shipment purpose also. So Docker, in the Docker we can say it is for a, we can build an application, you can build it, you can run. Okay, you can run application. Okay, and we can ship it. We can ship with the application, and you can deploy, build, and we can deploy application into Docker environment. We can run an application in the Docker environment. We can transfer this application from one Docker environment to another Docker environment. So there is a like our GitHub, there is a Docker Hub is also there. Docker Hub is for storing, okay, storing Docker images. You can store the Docker images like we are storing in a cloud, anywhere you can able to access. Like you're storing in a cloud, like a GitHub only. Like GitHub, it is a Docker Hub. So here, to work with the Docker, first of all, we can install Docker in a Linux environment or a Windows environment. Okay, compulsory 64-bit environment is required. Okay, compulsory 64-bit environment is required. Okay, and virtualization must be enabled. Okay, so hardware virtualization must be enabled. So that's why I added 3 lines and check mark, because I need a virtualization, so then I can teach a Docker, so I can run the Docker. This is the minimum requirement. If you are using a Windows 10, and make sure latest edition is required. Okay, so in Windows environment, Docker desktop. Another type of application is Docker toolbox. Docker toolbox is usually for Windows 7 and later versions. Okay, of course 64-bit compulsory anyway. Windows 7 and later versions, uh, for that one Docker desktop, and Windows 10. Okay, Windows 10 Home Edition, or old build, old builds. Okay, I will show you what is the edition for that one. How to download a Docker, I will show you now. So type Docker. This is a docker.com. So this is the pricing products. No. Docker download. Always try to download Docker download. Okay, so this is for a Docker for Windows, like that. It is so many other things also there. Okay, Docker for Windows. Okay, Mac, Docker for Apple chip, View engine, Linux engine kind of stuff. Now I don't want to download anything. Let us stay with the Docker. Now earlier, okay, this is the Docker Hub to store the Docker images. See Docker desktop. So from here you can able to download a Docker desktop. For example, you can download it from here. For example, Docker download for Windows 7, Windows 10 Home, and you can see different websites shows like this. Yeah, so this is a Docker desktop. Again, you can see Windows 10 64 Home Pro Enterprise Education version and 1903 build version, and you can install WSL2, means Windows. What is this one? Name is there. I'll show you that one. So Windows subsystem for Linux. Windows subsystem for Linux. With this one, you can able to run this one Docker desktop. This is Hyper-V backend and Windows containers. Home is not there because Windows 10 Home don't have Hyper-V. Windows 10 Home don't have Hyper-V. That's why Hyper-V backend, that kind of stuff won't work here. So with Hyper-V, this is if you have a Pro and Enterprise, install Hyper-V, install Docker, then you can use Hyper-V as your virtualization platform. This is if you don't have a Hyper-V as a virtualization platform, like you are a home or a Pro or Enterprise, and you don't want to use Hyper-V, then you can use Windows subsystem for Linux. This application you can use it. 4 GB RAM minimum requirement, 64-bit processor with a second level translation means virtualization should be enabled. That's the only thing. Okay. For example, if you are support is not there, like your build version is lower than this one. Your build version is lower than this one. Okay, build version is lower than this one, or you are using a Windows 7 kind of operating system. Okay, so then we have to use Docker Toolbox. Okay, you have to download Docker Toolbox. Okay, so like this is a Docker Toolbox. You can find it from here. So in Windows, Docker Toolbox. No, not this one. Okay, so you have to verify your Windows 10, 64 virtualization enabled or not. Yeah, here it is. Docker Git repository, github.com Docker Toolbox release. This is the release, old only, but this is works. This works in different manner. It works in different manner. Earlier, I use previous my practicals. Now I'm using this Docker desktop one. Download a Docker desktop. Once you download a Docker desktop, it is a package shows like this. Okay. So double click on it and click on yes. Okay, and it will show two check marks. Select two check marks. One for a WSL platform, and another one is desktop shortcut. Another one is desktop shortcut. Another one is the background WSL back thing. Okay, next. One second. After installation, it will ask to install this package, update package. So you have to download that package also. It will give you a link. Just download that link. So using that link, you can download this package, install this package, and it asks for the restart. Just restart it. Okay. So what is this WSL package? First download Docker desktop. Okay. First download Docker desktop. Okay. After downloading, install Docker desktop. Okay. So install the Docker desktop. So what are the things required? 64-bit PC. Here I'm using Windows 10, right? So Windows 10 compulsory for this one. Um, this is required version. You can use Home, Professional, or anything. If you don't want Hyper-V, anything is works. Windows 10 build version should be okay. So like a higher, but we are using 20H2 kind of stuff. So this is we are using current version. We are using, so everything is good. higher than this one. If it is lower, then you have to use a Docker toolbox. Okay. If you are using like this, then anything works. If you want Hyper-V, compulsory professional enterprises. Otherwise, you can use this version. It is a Windows subsystem for Linux. What happened? So the Linux base environment will created for a kernel, Linux kernel, and Linux virtualization environment will create in this one. So you can run the Docker on the Linux environment, because Docker is mainly runs in a Linux environment, or you can use your Hyper-V as a virtualization platform also. But problem is, compared to last time I check it, compared to the Hyper-V, WS is better one. So once you are install a Docker, okay, after install, ask for restart now. Okay, PC restart. It is restart now is a PC restart here. It restart automatically. Once you click on OK, then it will restart. Once it is restart, while installing, there is a checkbox is there. Remaining are nothing. Just install for install something like this will there. Next, create a shortcut for the desktop. Okay, shortcut will be created. The only check marks are there. Check it. Then next install completed. After installation, it will ask for a restart. After restarting, so Docker starts and it will ask for update WSL2, and it will give you a link. So use the link, download update package, update with .msi extension .msi. So install uh, WSL2 update MSI, and Docker. After that one, it restart Docker service. Okay, so that's it. Now we'll see what to do with the Docker. This is installation procedure. I have a Docker here. It is already installed. Already I told that one. Here you can see this is the Docker ship. You can see it meaning is like a ship only. Ship contains a container, right? Ship contains a container like this. If you right click or click on this one, okay, actually it shows switch to Windows container. It means it is already switched to a Linux container base only. So don't need to do anything. You can sign in and you can create a Docker ID. You can restart Docker ID, quit Docker Hub, quick start documentation settings are there. So if you want to do any settings, you can do it. If you open this one, it's a GUI mode of a Docker. How many images are there? Images are running. It shows. So once we done Docker, open a CMD or something like. You can use this one also for getting started. Or what are the images are there? You can able to see. You can sign in with a Docker ID also. Open CMD or PowerShell is also okay, no problem. So 1 second. I have two CMDs are there. Okay, so once I will show you a basic and I will stop the record. wait. Two are there actually. So this is Jenkins running. So Docker running. Not Docker. It is just a command prompt running. Okay. So here already Docker is installed, right? So and service is running. Docker V. It means it will tell you Docker version. Okay, this is a Docker command. Docker V means what is the current Docker version. It is showing. So Docker image. What are the images are running? Image ls, like that we can put it. No images are running currently. Okay. Docker ps means current containers running. Hyphen a, sorry, hyphen a. This is a container existed, means the container is there but not utilizing by anyone. Okay, I will show you how to mm, take the container and all. Uh, this is the basic Docker.